Hey, 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 how's everyone doing tonight? Is everyone doing good? Everyone hear me all right? Oh, thanks for the donation, DJ and RT. I appreciate it. So I guess everyone got the gist of what we're doing on this live stream this time. So I received this laptop in, and I opened the box, and it's a 23-year-old laptop. So, and the note was pretty vague. I put inside the description here, I put a note of what the customer said. So, but we're going to work on it. I haven't looked at it yet. And I looked it up, and the laptop was $2,000 in 2002, so it's going to be pretty fun. I haven't worked on something this old in a long time. Hey, hello from Jamaica in Germany. Yeah, it's going to be a zombie laptop. It's an Inspiron 8200, Dell Inspiron 8200. Here, let me grab it. Look at this beast. This thing is, it weighs a bunch. And it has all the ports you will ever need. Look at this. Serial port. Who could name this one right here? Come on. It's a parallel port, guys. Come on. Yes, thank you. It's for a printer, right? And then this one is a VGA port. And then this one in the middle, you probably don't recognize it, but it is actually a docking port. So back in the day when this is a C-series laptop from Dell. Even though it's an Inspiron, it's a C-series in general. And it can actually dock on a C-series dock, a C-dock. Yeah, dock connector, correct. And then we got a PS2. Everyone knows what that is. You can hook a keyboard or a mouse into this plug. Super high tech. And then this is actually the power plug. It uses a PA6 or PA9, but it's a kind of a horseshoe shaped. Did it have Wi-Fi? This one, I believe, was the model that you could put a Wi-Fi card in, and it actually had an antenna that you could plug into it. There are other versions you couldn't plug an antenna into, I'm pretty sure. But never to worry, because if you needed a Wi-Fi card, there's 2 PCM-CIA slots. So if you know what a PCM-CIA card is, it has 2 of these slots. And so you can actually put these like credit card size cards you put in there, and they're for accessories. And I was actually digging, I was trying to find one to show you guys if you've never seen one before. But you could they have Wi-Fi cards, network cards, modems. What else do they had? I think they even had a USB, something like that. Yeah, so this person's talking about a CPIA the other day. Yeah, so a CPI or a CPI, and then they have a CPIA. That's kind of the same generation right before this. This is a little newer because this one is rocking a Pentium 4, okay? These originally were shipped with Pentium 3s when they had the Inspiron 8000 series, and then they went to 8100, and this is the 8200, which had the Pentium 4. Mind blown. So yes, let's go over all the ports real quick while we're at it. Just so we have FireWire. Can we see the FireWire port? And just the regular headphone jacks and stuff like that. This is actually the hard drive. It comes out, but do you see this little window here? Does anyone know what that is? It's kind of a clear glass window that's tinted. What do you think that would be for? Yep, IR. You nailed it. Good job, David. So these laptops were equipped with IR. And back in this time period, you actually could print. You could get printers that were IR or other accessories that would receive the data through IR. It's pretty funny. Futuristic in a way, right? Let's flip over to the other side real quick. So on this side, this laptop had a DVD player not a DVD burner, but just a DVD player. But you could get a DVD burner in it. I think this is just a DVD. I don't even know if this is DVD. I can't read the text on there. But let's see if you guys can see it. Yeah, I think it just compact disc. Oh, it's a rewritable. So it's a CD-RW, but not a DVD player, not a DVD-RW. So you can only write CDs. And what else do we have? All right, what's this one? What's this one? I showed my other tech this, and he's like, what is that? It looks like a PS2 port. This is what you call S-Video. S-Video. Yeah, the PS2 is on the back. So this is S-Video. So this was a higher end video out instead of composite video like the RCA jacks. This was S-Video, so it was a higher video quality. And so to have S-Video out on a laptop was awesome. I mean, that's why this thing was worth $2,000. And then to finish it up, we actually have a dial-up modem and the network NIC, right? It's probably a 10 base T or something like that. It's not even 10100, I bet, but it had that. But what's really cool about these old C-Series laptops, so you remember we have this CD drive on the side right here? This actually has two bays on the front. And here, I'm going to flip it over. So this side is a battery, okay? This side is a floppy drive, because you know you need a floppy drive, but you could take this out and you could put another CD drive in here, and then you can burn CDs on one machine. That's what we're talking about. And then if you didn't want to do that, but you wanted to have you want to make this laptop last for a long time on batteries, you can actually put two batteries up front. So you could buy another one of these batteries and put it here, and then put one here, and then you have two batteries up front. Modular, right? So that's pretty neat. So these laptops were actually pretty cool back in the day. I didn't put this on a scale, but if I had to weigh it, I don't know, we're looking probably 12 pounds maybe. It's pretty heavy. It's made of plastic, but I know there's a metal frame inside of this thing that makes it structurally sound. So, so that wraps up all of that. Did everyone read the note on what the customer said? I put it in the video description. You can take a look, and I can see if I can pull it up if you guys want to see it. But the note here, I can. We'll do this. Here's the note that the guy sent in with it. So, laptop was always plugged in for years. Sleep mode was not, they put it in sleep mode when they weren't using it, never turned it off, rebooted it. Someone unplugged it while it was in sleep, and then for some unknown time frame, I like how cryptic that is, and then it won't restart. So, we were tempted to look at this, and I was like, I don't even want to look at this at all. So, I mean, it could be something simple. It could just be I just plug it in and it turns on. So, for all I know, it's something very, very simple. But I figured you guys would get a kick out of looking at this, right? So, the specs on it, when I was looking it up, I was actually trying to look up the service tag on here, which is the serial number on Dell's website, and it doesn't even come up. It doesn't even come up. This would be an easy pizza if I was actually going to charge them. I cannot charge this customer a board repair or a repair. I mean, for that matter, even if I charge my $129 repair fee, this laptop's not even worth this. You know what I mean? It's really old, but look how beautiful it is. I mean, it's in like perfect condition. The fans don't even look dirty. To me, it almost looks like it's been off for an unknown time, maybe for 15 years. What do you think? He just unplugged it 15 years ago, and then now he's like wanting to look at it? So, yeah, it could be a CMOS battery issue. I don't even think these things take CR2032s, because I think these took these long batteries that had a bunch of coin cells in them in series or something like that. But they said they constantly had it plugged in. And so here's the charger that comes with it, and it has this special plug at the end. And guess what? My power meter doesn't have those plugs, right? So I only put these two plugs on my power meter, and so I don't have this one. So what are we going to do about it? We want to see how much current we're pulling out of it, right? So I came prepared. I have another plug, and I just cut it. And then we're going to hook it to a DC jack, and then that way we can just plug it into our power meter. And then we can still monitor it. And I figured that'd be kind of cool. But actually, I didn't make sure this plugs in. Probably should do that. Yep, so that plugs in fine. So we'll just have to figure out what the pin out is of this, and then I'll just take this DC jack and then we'll hook it to that, and then we can wire it up. But how's everybody doing this week? How many of you guys were on the stream last week? Did you, where we were working on that Inspiron and then the BIOS, we were trying to rebuild the BIOS, and we could never get it to turn on at the end? Well, guess what? The next morning, I messed with it again after I went to sleep and actually got some rest, and wrote a new BIOS on it, and it turned right on and worked just fine. The laptop worked perfectly. And so I called the customer, and I let him know, and I said, hey, you know, that BIOS, the chip that was on that board was completely wiped blank. And so I talked to the tech, and I said, hey, you know, what's going on with that? And he said that the laptop was sent to another repair shop ahead of time that worked on it, and they were trying to recover the files and all the BitLocker stuff, because I guess it's someone's business laptop that has their data on it. So basically, he didn't have anything to do with it. He came to him afterwards, and so what's even worse, so we have the laptop working, whatever, you know, and their BIOS is wiped, so it's not like I can recover their BIOS key, but when I plug their hard drive into a system where I can to take a look and see about the BitLocker, the BitLocker partition is corrupted. So whoever was messing with their hard drive even messed up their BitLocker partition. So anyway, data's all gone. I had to just send it back, and we just sent it back for a diag fee. So anyway, so that's just an update from the last week. And but so what do you guys want to do on this first? I think we'll just do this jack here. And like I said, so I've set up a super chat for this because what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to get you guys to donate to pay for this repair. So because I don't want to charge this guy for any money, but you know, it will take time, and there's also shipping involved. But if we can get this thing fixed up, then we can ship it back to him, and we won't have to charge him anything. So I put a super chat goal in there. Anyway, so I'm going to cut these up, and then we're going to try to see what the pin out is of this jack, because we need it to match, and we're going to try to plug it into my power meter here off to the side, and that way we can see the current being pulled. I could just plug it in, plug their charger in, and start messing with it, but what fun is that? What fun is that? It could just turn right on, and there's the end of this, and see you later, the stream's over. But I'd rather see if we can get, you know, build this thing right here first. Is it Windows 98? Yes! 2002. I think this thing was probably the first thing shipped with, should we cover up this COA? This was shipped with XP Professional, 1 CPU or 2. You have the option. And do you think this COA is vulnerable to you guys stealing the code here? I don't know. I'm just going to cover it up just in case. It came with XP. XP came out in 2002, so I think this is one of the first laptops that were shipped with XP. Hey, welcome from Kenya. Look at, man, you guys are coming in from all over the world. I love to see everyone here. So I'm going to cut this up. We'll make a jack real quick. And that way we can have something to plug into it. So has anybody had one of these older C-series Dells before? Because basically Dell had the C-series, then they did the D-series, and then they did the E-series, and then now they're doing the no-letter series, basically. But the D-series came out in like 2006-ish, and the C-series came out in like 99-ish, I think, 98. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people have had these. Okay, so this looks like it's just a 2-wire system. I was thinking it was going to be 3-wire because it has 3 holes. But it's only 2 wires. So there's no PSID pin on here that is trying to figure out what the wattage of the charger is, so we don't have to worry about that. You ran Linux on it? Was it like after end of life? Oh, DJ again. Wow. Thanks, man. Yeah, only 13 minutes left, guys, to help pay for this repair. Way to set an example, DJ. Where's my jack? What did I do with it? I lost the DC jack. Uh-oh. I don't see it. Here, let me grab another one. I'll be right back. Okay. I don't know what happened to the other DC jack. I'm sure you guys can see. Ah, here it is. Just went under my microscope. There it is. Okay. Well, now we have an extra one. Oh, thanks, JK. And DJ again. Man, you were only $5 at a time. Yeah, I guess we can go up a little bit higher on that. I've actually never set a goal before, so I was just kind of trying that out. This repair, yeah, 129, and if we only did 10 of those, that would be $50, so that doesn't even cover it all the way, but I was just kind of giving it a try here. Okay, so we don't need all 3 of these wires. I mean, this one has 5 wires on it, 2 blacks, 2 reds. They're going to be bound together. And then the gray wire is going to be our PSID pin. Hey, thanks, Zero. And we don't need this PSID pin because we're not going to be using that portion. Please check if it's 19 volts versus 15 volts. Oh, interesting. They should all be 19 volts. You made me doubt myself for a second. They're 20 volts. This is 20. You can see 20 volts right there. And this is a PA9 adapter. And that's what I'm about to plug into it, is 20 volts. So we're not going to have to worry about anything like that. Who's going to use it? Okay, so this laptop was sent in. It was mailed in by a customer. And so the only thing we have is that note that they sent in, right? That basically said that it worked flawlessly for years and that somebody unplugged it for an unknown period of time. So we're only trying to repair this for a customer that, you know, I haven't even called the customer to kind of figure out what it's for. It could be like, oh yeah, we used it a long time ago, now we're just trying to fix it, maybe it's worth something. I have no idea. But it could also be something that ran, you know, their server room. But to me, or run some old software, it's so clean. It's like brand new, like it's never been used. So it could have been unplugged 20 years ago for all I know. It's the battery. Jake, is it the battery, you think? Hey, thanks for the donation. All right, so how are we going to bond these together? Should we solder them? What do you think? I don't even need to check the pin out because this one's ground or the negative, and then that's going to be positive, and this is negative and positive, so I already know that, so I don't even need to figure out the pin out because it's not multiple wires. What's the model? You're late. So it's an Inspiron 8200 from 2002. So we can solder it on there. Yeah, we can solder it and then use heat shrink tubing, or we can use these guys. What do I want to do? I'm going to solder it. And then we'll have a permanent adapter that we can use for all of these C-series we're going to be working on, right? Just checking to see if this heat shrink tubing is going to fit, because it is kind of skinny. Let's see if I have bigger. Yeah, all of this heat shrink I have is kind of small. This one seems a little bit bigger. Yep, okay, so we'll use this one. Let me move this laptop out of the way. The BIOS battery, I don't know if the BIOS battery will prevent this thing from turning on or not. I can't remember. I literally worked on these machines like so many times, but I haven't opened one in more than 10 years or longer because nobody's been using a Pentium 4 laptop in a long time. In my experience, what laptop would I recommend buying? I would not buy a cheap consumer laptop at Best Buy or Walmart. I would not do that. Jedi Knight, thanks for the donation. We're almost to the goal, guys. I'll set up another goal because $50 isn't enough to pay for this repair, but we'll set up another one. I was just kind of experimenting with that. All right. So we're going to need to, since we're soldering wires together, I'm just going to put a little bit of this flux on here just to help tin the wires ahead of time. And this is just some flux pin. All right, so we need to tin the wires first with some solder. Should we do this under the microscope or just overhead's fine? Is that a good view? System 76 laptop. Those are good laptops, right? Yeah, they make, what is the Pop OS? Is that right? So what I'm doing is I'm just tinning these wires ahead of time so that way the solder will stick together on here. What did you miss? Bob, so what we are working on is an Inspiron 8200 from 2002. It was a mail-in repair, and the customer said that it got shut off. It had been working for years, and then it got shut off, and they don't know how long it's been shut off, but it won't come back on. And so we're going to take a look at it, but first I have to make an adapter so the charger can plug into my power box. Only a couple more minutes left for this goal so we can help pay for this guy's repair. Yeah, so this machine's running, which one of the first machines shipped with XP. And it's the 1 CPU or 2 CPU version, which is even better than the regular. And it's a professional, so you can actually use remote desktop and you actually have some sort of networking stuff. I was looking on my wall today. I still have a wall where I put like CDs, but I haven't used a single CD off the wall for years. But so the wall's filled with all these CDs that are Windows XP, Windows 7, and so I have a bunch of Windows for like, I guess it's Windows Ultimate, Windows Starter Edition. They have all sorts of different versions, and I was like, I don't know what the point of that was. These heat shrink tubings are not going to work. I'm just going to solder these together and not touch the wires together. What do you think about that? Because I don't have, oh wait, no, I have a whole, did I bring my whole kit up here? No. Yeah, all the heat shrink tubing I have is too skinny. Hey Michael, thanks. Hey Lee, thanks. We're almost there. 3 minutes left. Oh, sorry, I'm out of shot. I need more flux on this thing. Solder's not flowing. I'm just gonna put the good stuff on here. ME was legit awesome. I think there's some controversy in that one, Jedi Knight. I would never ever say that it was legit awesome. Put tape on the wires. I think I will. I think I do have some electrical tape around here somewhere. I have some Kapton tape. I can just put on there too. Thanks, Bob. JFix, welcome aboard. You made it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this Inspiron 8200 without you. Okay, did I... Thank you. I soldered it the wrong way. Oh my gosh. You're right. I soldered it the wrong way. You guys should have been yelling at me. I didn't see enough people yelling at me. Did you see that? So black goes with the uncoated wire, white goes with the red. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. LOL. Right? Is that how we do it? LOL. Man, CRX coming in hot. Appreciate it. Okay, we're going to get it right this time. And again, we could just plug this in and the machine could just work. You have a Toshiba with Windows 95? I think he wins. Does it still work though? I mean, you can have it, but does it work? God, this is killing me here. I was testing you, yes, of course, yes. Okay, are we good now? Nope, that came apart. Oh yeah, that's a good solder job. That looks good. Okay, I'm gonna wrap these things up and turn this loud noise off. Let's see. Let's get some. I'm just gonna use Kapton tape. Yeah, I think these are pretty properly calibrated. I would hope. Or else we're gonna release the magic smoke. Does everyone love watching Soren? I love he's doing those live streams lately. That's what's inspiring me to do a little more live streams. Jordan, thank you so much. Yeah, the smoke test will happen quick enough here. All right, so should we cover up both wires or just one wire? Live on the edge. Here, I'll cover both. Soren rules, he does. Feels bad. No, Soren sucks. Oh man. No, Soren, he's definitely sharp, and he has that idea, that mindset where he can kind of go through the board and try to figure out what's going on. Now, some of this, you know, dodgy. Some of his stuff is dodgy, but he's gotten better. He's gotten better. You know, because he has all his videos where he replaces the capacitor in the other video. So, you know, at least he's doing the capacitors in another video. Because before it'd be like, I'm not going to replace that capacitor. But I would love to see that stream. You know, he can cut them all together in the one video where he replaces capacitors all the way across. Well, that would be funny. Here's a funny thing. So the other day, I filmed a video and I haven't uploaded it yet or anything, but I did not replace a capacitor because I was like, oh, I'll replace it in a little bit. The board wasn't coming on, but it was shorted, so I took it off of there. And I took the capacitor off the board, and the board still didn't work. And I was like, that's strange. The short is gone. And I'm messing around with all sorts of stuff. And then finally I was like, I'll go ahead and replace that capacitor. I put the capacitor on, and the board turned on. I was like, Soren? Soren, oh. So it means it wasn't a filter cap, obviously. It was actually, or a bypass. It was for actually, you know, whatever it was for, I don't know. But it was pulling some sort of line high or something like that. So it was needed. Okay, so we have our wire set up. and I can zoom out now. So what we're using this for is what we're trying to do is we're going to connect it to my power box. And, well, let's plug it in and see if it shorts out or anything. So we have our power box, and all right, plugged in. Nothing happened. And so what I'm trying to do is, we have to convert this new style plug of Dell's to the old style from 2002. So I just cut an actual old, this is probably a PA6. What he uses is a PA9 on this system. And here is our beast from 2002. Let me open this up. I need some room here. We haven't even opened this yet. Look at that. Whoa, it's legendary. You know what was really cool about this machine? The fact that it's a 4:3 aspect ratio and it's a 15-inch screen, yeah, that was pretty awesome in 2002. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these right here. You can actually pop these things out and change the color. You can customize your palm rest. And I remember I used to sell, because my business started in 2002, so I was selling all of these parts. And I actually still have a bunch of these parts in stock. Actually, I want to show y'all. I was pulling this up earlier. I was cracking up because I was like, this is ridiculous. All right, can everyone see this? So this is on my website. And I went to Inspiron parts, and then I went to 8200, which is the model we're on. Look at all these parts we actually have in stock still. So if you want like well, a lot of this stuff is out of stock zeros, but I've had a listing for pretty much every single thing. Here, I got some LCD cables. Look at that, $4. Yeah, I guess a lot of it's sold out. I don't have it anymore, but I've had listings for everything. So I've pretty much had every single part for this model. And yeah, that's pretty funny because that's how long ago it was when I started this place, and so I had all these parts. But this one is in really good condition. Had a 15-inch screen, which was awesome. I think these even were shipped with, it's not FHD, it's UXGA. So it was 1024 by 768, I think. Or no, UXGA was, what was it? 1920 by... not 1080, 1200, 1920 by 1200. Is that right for UXGA? Someone can correct me. Look it up on Wikipedia. And then these things are super modular. You can take them apart really easily. So if I wanted to change this keyboard out, I can actually just pop this center control cover off. This just pops right off. I just grab it here. Hold on. Do I have to take a screw out, or do I just grab it? Pretty sure I just grab it. Why is it not coming? There we go. There we go. Look at this. And it comes right off. And then you can access the LCD cable. This is the power button board to turn it on. This is a couple screws that hold this keyboard on. You could take the keyboard out. I think it's like 4 screws. You can access the CPU. The memory's on the back side. So it's super, serviceable back in the day. We'll put this back on. And the way that this little board worked here is it has the little copper pads, and then this is the little pressure pad plungers that short it out momentarily, and that's what makes it, the button turn on or not. So, are we ready to plug it in? Oh, is it 1600 by 1200? No, I think it's 1900 by 1200. I was thinking it was higher resolution. So UXGA, yes, UXGA was 1900 by 1200. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. And we should look at the hard drive. Yeah, let me pull the hard drive out. And this actually has a hard drive. It's not a hard drive. It's actually a hard drive, right? So HDD. I don't get you guys can't give me a hard time for saying hard drive. Okay, so we're gonna pull the hard drive out. So all we do is just slide this down like that, and then this pulls out. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. So the hard drive is a 30 gigabyte, I think. Is that what we're reading? 30 gigs. But I'm trying to find the manufacturer date. Does anyone see the manufacturer date on there? I mean, if it's the 30 gig drive, I mean, it has to be old. This machine was shipped with a 20 or 40 gig or 30 gig, so this could be the original one. But I don't know if there's a manufacturer date built in this serial code or anything. Does anyone see it? But here's the thing, it's not SATA. So most people would think, okay, it's gonna be like a SATA drive. This is an interposer that's on here. And so this interposer comes off. Let's see if I can grab it. Oh, it's coming off. It's coming off. It's an IDE drive, and it's a 40-pin IDE. And you can't see the pins, can you? Can we get it to focus? You can do it. There we go. There's the pins. It's working on it. Okay, so there's the pins. So it's a 40-pin IDE. And so all these drives, when you plug them into the machine, you have to have some sort of interposer in order to make them fit. And so that's what these are. So each machine would have a little bit different interposer to make it plug in. But that's what this is for. So I'm surprised that this drive still works because, you know, platter drives, mechanical drives like this should only last a few years in general. I always say like 3 years, and then you want to replace them. Did anyone see the manufacturer date on this by chance? April 2002, is that what you found? Whew. That means this machine, well, I think this machine was from October 2002, so that would make sense if the drive was a few months earlier. Oh man, this thing is awesome. I'm loving this. Now we don't know if this thing's gonna turn on still or not, but okay. So what did we do? Should we plug it in? The stream could be over right now if I just plug it in and it turns on. Oh, we can chat still. Okay, here we go. Let's get on the power meter screen here. Okay. So we're either gonna have magic smoke or we're gonna see some current draw or boom. Jordan says boom. All right, 3, 2, 1. Nothing. But I can't say that I know what it's supposed to do because I haven't worked on these forever. So I have no idea if it's actually supposed to pull current whenever I plug it in or not. I don't think there's like a fancy EC chip or whatever running on this, but maybe there is. Okay. So I'm going to press the power button. And we got nothing. We got nothing. All right. We have a board repair. Let's do a board repair on this old beast. Maybe I should actually plug their charger in first just to make sure that it's not my janky setup here. What do you think about that? Let me plug this in real quick. Okay. All right, so I have their charger plugged in. We're going to go ahead and give it a try real quick. And we have their charger plugged in, but we don't know what the current draw is. We do have a charger light, yes. The light is on, which is nice to know. And we press the power button, and we're not getting anything. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Is anyone having video issues? I'm seeing a couple people maybe saying that the chat is working. I think it's working. Okay, so it's been a long time since I've worked on this machine. And oh yeah, let's pull these doors open. So let's see what's in these. We didn't get to look inside of there, but we will be pulling this apart. And if I remember this right, there are 12 millimeter screws. 12 millimeter long screws in this thing. I used to sell a screw kit that went to this laptop. Oh, here's one of them. Speaking of the devil. Look at this thing. Look how long that screw is. Oh, man. Let's see if this is another one. Yep, there's another one. Two screws. And then they actually named all this stuff. This is actually pretty cool. So can you see that right there? This says K, so this screw goes to the keyboard. This one says K and M. This screw goes to the keyboard and the motherboard. This one's K for the keyboard, and all these are P on the outside are P, so that means P for the palm rest. So it was labeled so children can assemble it. Not that they were doing that, but. So I'm going to just pull these two covers off. We can take a look inside, and what kind of memory do we have? What we got? We got some cryptic numbers on here. I mean, it's only one module. I would say, what, 128? Rambus. No, it's not Rambus. This is called SODIMM. DDR2? Yeah, it's DDR2 at least. Yes, I think the version before this was DDR1 because it was a Pentium 3. The 8000 and 8100 used Pentium 3s, and then this was the Pentium 4 version, and so they switched to DDR2. And yeah, I actually have a whole drawer of that right here as my test memory still. Look at that. DDR2. So it is keyed the same, right? Yeah, it's keyed the same. So it is DDR2. I don't have any DDR1 for testing, so I'm glad we're not working on a DDR1 machine. Anyway, I don't know what the capacity is of this. The chips may be telling me how big they are. I'm sure someone else could figure it out, but I'm assuming this is a 128 or a 256. 256 seems kind of big for this chip, so I bet it's a 128. You think it's a 64? That'd be crazy if it's a 64. No, that can't be. Can't be a 64. PC 133. I don't know. There's nothing on the back, so I can't. Usually I would, just read the sticker, but they like to make it cryptic. So I'm sure this number, if you search for that, maybe it comes up with something. Someone will figure it out for me, and they will notify everyone. Okay, we're gonna look at this other stuff. Can everyone see this? If it will focus, go. What's that? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? We're going to take it out, and I'll show you. Thank you. Jordan wins again. Man, you are a winner. So this is the modem, and there's a 2-wire plug in here, and it plugs into this, and then that actually enables the modem port on the side. So this NIC is actually part of the board, or it's plugs into the board or something like that, but the modem is a actual card you have to put in there. So, and we're talking, when we say modem, we're talking about dial-up modem. So this was probably a 56K dial-up modem, and has a lot of people used these things? Dial-up, does everyone remember that? The screecher, yes. Okay, in this side, we have a, let me see if I can remember the name of it, mini PCI card. That's what it is, a mini PCI. And this was your expansion card slot for putting a Wi-Fi card in, and they were nice enough to give us an antenna. So the prior versions of this machine did not come with an antenna in here. And so you had to, or no, maybe it had an antenna, but it was the reverse, and you had to have some other dongle. Yeah, there was like some card or something. I just remember it being complicated to put the card in there and then try to get the Wi-Fi to work. And so it's easier to always put the PCMCIA in their side. But so this one, you put that in there and plug it in, and then you're off to the races. The card was as big as this whole area, which is, I mean, it's pretty big. So I'm going to continue taking these screws out so we can do our board repair. And I think we're pretty close to being able to, hopefully we'll be able to figure this out. And now I went and I looked around. I was trying to figure out, I don't have a motherboard for this, even if we needed to replace this. And there's more 12mm screws. But I do have a test system for this laptop. I found it in my test machines. And then I also have, if I don't know who's been to my store before, but in my front store, it's kind of a big open area, and I have a old laptop like a museum in all my display cases. So I have like laptops from the 90s, early 2000s and up, and so I actually have one of these in that display case that probably even works. So we can always scavenge some parts out of that if we need to. But anybody who's in Austin you can come by anytime you want. The store's open 10 to 6 every day. Man, most of these screws are 12 millimeter screws. I thought there was only a few of them in here, but it's most of them. But I guess it makes sense because the laptop is about, I don't know, 3 inches thick or something. Did we figure out it's a 256 module? Is that what we got? Thank you, Mr. Cat. So 256 module for the RAM, which was outstanding for XP, right? You know, that's assuming that you're not running anything. But I think that you can run XP with like 64 megs of RAM or something, right? So. Hell, this is when an electric screwdriver would come in handy. These things are long, and I have an electric screwdriver. I have one of these stupid things. I hate them. It's like the most, I mean, maybe there's a better one that's more ergonomic, but like I put my hand on here, I'm like, oh, this is like so boring. I might as well spin the thing myself. So the one I do like is I actually have like a nice big one that's made. We actually got them from Dell's factory years ago, and so it has like a big box and that you put on the ground, and then the plugs into it. Andrew has a question. Do you think older laptops are easier to repair than newer laptops? Older laptops, interesting. I don't know. See, it's different. So is it easier to take apart? So like the really new laptops are actually really easy to take apart for the most part because they're trying to make it everything kind of fit together, and it's easy to get apart. Like this is going to take us a while to get apart. It's not, is it easy to fix? This is more modular, so there's things to change out, right? This has a modular video card, a modular CPU, and then the motherboard, and then the RAM, and all that stuff is all separate, so you can actually try things out, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of saying relative on that answer. So this optical drive should come out like this. We just pull that, it comes out, and it's actually just a regular optical drive. I mean, it's a CDRW, but it's a regular optical drive form factor, and you can just change this little housing off, and so you could buy one. Actually, these are the thicker versions. The newer versions are thinner, but you could change that out and then upgrade it. You could put a DVD burner in this thing if you wanted to. Okay, we got all the screws out of the bottom. Yeah, at least it's socketed CPU and you're replacing it if it dies, yes. So, and this is the Pentium 4, and I checked my stock on our website. I have Pentium 4 CPUs in stock, baby. Only $5 or something like that, you know? But, all right, so like I said, this is easy to pop off. I didn't even have to take a screw out to get this thing off. And this keyboard should just come right out. Yep, look at this. Because we already took the screws out of the bottom. And it's interesting how it has little brackets on this side to hold it in. And on, oh, how's this unplug? I can't remember. Do I just yank it? I can't, oh, it's pressure tabs? I can't remember how this is supposed to come out, and I don't want to break it. So let me use my concentration for just one moment. I think this just pops up. Huh. I'd be yelling at whoever's doing this to tell me how to do it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. So this actually has a whole connector on the end, but I couldn't remember if these ribbon cables came out of this. And so on like a newer laptop, you would just insert the ribbon cable into a ZIF connector, and this part would be part of the motherboard. But on this one, they have it where it's a connector, which I would prefer. I think you just plug everything in. So, but anyway, so what I was saying, yeah, it hooks in the side here. We lift it up, but you can see this 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that hold this in through the bottom, and that's what's holding the keyboard in. And our keyboard's out. Look at this laptop. It's like brand new. I mean, their note was so cryptic, it has been turned off for an undetermined amount of time, right? And how many years? 20 years? Right? This is crazy. So here's the video card right here in the middle. And there's the CPU right there, the little heatsink. And look how loose this heatsink is. It didn't need to even be that tight because it's just sitting right on top of the CPU. It doesn't need to be smashed. I mean, this is like a spring-loaded thing. It didn't even have a lock on it. The way you pop them open, let me get my Potts People screwdriver out. So you take a flat head, and here, I'll get you closer in here. You take a flat head, and you just go, boop, and it pops open. Did everyone get that? So, and when you want to install it again, you just put your screwdriver in, and you bend it this way, and press down. There you go. Snap back in, pop it back open, and this lifts out, and then the heatsink lifts off. And there is our Pentium number 4. Pentium, if you don't know what I'm joking about. That's I always think when people are. It's funny when people call and they're talking about their machine. It's like, I have an Inspiration with a Pentium number 4 in it, and I try not to give people a hard time about that. Okay, so which one do we have? I need someone to look up this for me too. It's an SL6CG. So we can figure out which one we have. Old school, baby. Hello from Vietnam. So I'm going to put it back in. I just wanted to see, and I'm going to leave the heatsink off because we're going to put our finger on it in a second to see if we get any heat. But we don't have any current draw, so we're not going to have any heat anyway. Here's where the LCD plugs in, and the palm rest. I'm trying to remember how this works. So we pop this keyboard off, or we pop the LCD off like that. It's a 1.6P4. Come on, that's a low end one. We should upgrade this thing to like 2 gigahertz. We should go up to 2 gigahertz, man. So I'm going to unscrew. We have to take the LCD screen off in order to take this palm rest off, which I don't like. But the way they had it set up is these hinges actually go down into these brackets on the palm rest, and that's what makes it structural. 2 gigahertz. Oh yeah, I think I have 2 gigahertz. Let's go back and look. All right, CPUs. 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.7, 1.5, 1.9. Yeah, so all the higher end, there's a 2.4, which, look, $150. I have not had this in stock for probably 15 years, and that's why it's priced so crazy. So these things that are higher priced is because I just haven't had them in stock, and so the price never got updated. So it looks like the only thing we can go up to is like a 1.7. So... Wait, that's a Pentium M, yeah. So wait, a Pentium M is wrong because it should be a Pentium 4M if it's going to be a Pentium. Because the Pentium M is also like a core duo, I think. So I don't know if that's right. Anyway, so we'll continue. I'm going to take this off. Does this just? Oop! Oh, is everyone still there? I had something fall and press the buttons on my controller here. Okay, good. We didn't end the stream, which is nice. Okay. How do we get this off again? Do we have screws in the back? Aha! Secret screws right here. And so these are short screws. We got shorties. I figured these would be long too. Don't put my finger, I will always put my finger on the CPU running while it's running. Use a thermal camera. No, 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 no. You haven't done this long enough. No, 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 no. So, yeah, thermal camera will show it's getting hot, but finger will show it's getting really hot. And so the idea with putting a finger on a CPU is the fact that you know how hot it's getting and you can turn it off. Because if you just do a thermal camera, you're like, oh yeah, it's getting hot. I can see the thermal camera shows it's getting hot. It's like 150 or whatever. You know, you're like reading whatever the temperature is, but you don't know how hot it's actually getting. And so when I use my finger, I'll just rotate between fingers and I'll just basically keep doing heat sinking. I mean, I've been doing this so long that yes, that's exactly how I do it. Now, if you're saying don't do it because you're going to get burned, I'm not worried about it. Okay, this palm rest just comes unplugged right there. And then we lift this off. I think it just snaps together. Freewheel, this is definitely a dinosaur. 2002. Oh, and I just realized, yeah, so it's a 2002 model. My business I started this place in May of 2002. And this thing was shipped a little after that, apparently. So, Pat, thank you so much for the $10 donation. That's going to go towards paying for this person's repair. All right, so the palm rest is off. And the screen, actually, the hinges go into this right here. So it makes this whole thing structural. And it has all this metal in here. That's what also makes it strong. And you've got speakers built on there. Look at those speakers. And this thing still looks brand new. I mean, we're digging deeper in here. It does not look like it was even run for a couple of years. Now, we do have some sort of interesting fuzz right here. Let's see what it is. Ooh. Ooh. Is that a ladybug caught by something else? By a mosquito eater? What do you guys think that is? I see the ladybug, right? Do you see the ladybug? Right there. Oh! But I don't know what the actual carcass is, the whole thing. Looks like one of those mosquito eater things. That's not an ooh. This is, you guys, I had to work on a laptop with bed bugs in it. Yes, we'll send this to the Gooch collector. Anyway, so I'm going to pull this out. We'll put it over here. We'll save it for later. And that was all I saw as for, I mean, you know, these are the fans. They're not dirty. I mean, that looks fine. The motherboard doesn't look that dirty. The video card looks pretty clean. There's those buttons we were talking about. And so it basically just shorts the center to the side whenever you want to press it. It's like a plunger and it shorts it out. And, oh yes, I think I remember this. This module right here comes unplugged. Oh, I remember this. Oh my gosh, it's all coming back. It's like flashes. So on this machine, so we have the video card here, and then this is like a, I don't know, power distribution module or whatever. It plugs in, and that basically has a lot of the power rails on it. I just remember it comes unplugged, or it goes bad, and then you just change that out, and then that fixes the whole thing. So that could be our issue right there. So we will figure that out momentarily. I'm gonna take out this awesome video card. Do we want to figure out what video card we have too? Let's see if I can get a part number off of it for you. The board looks good. Looks real good. Okay, video card is out, and it just has a little thermal pad that's not even sticky. It's just like foam. Part number. The part number is 1M265. 1M265. Search that up for me. Figure out which card this is. This is a 5070, and from 2002. MX440? No, I think it's something... It's an ATI, yeah, for sure. It's like an ATI 1000 or something. I don't know. We're going to figure out in a second. Somebody's doing it. Everybody thinks somebody's doing it. 1M265. 1M265. Okay, look, this module was barely plugged in. So I'm going to just plug it back down in there. Yeah, 1M265 is a GeForce 4 440 Go, 64 megabyte. Now we're rocking. That is enough to run that 15-inch screen, huh? And that S-video out, right? NV11, yeah, probably. 64 of VRAM. Oh, and I remember, yeah, now I remember. We used to sell them with 32 megs, and then people would buy the ones with 64 megs to upgrade. And I was having a hard time keeping the 64 megs in stock. I remember that now. Oh, it's a 32 meg? No, there's two different versions, yeah. Oh, no, it is a 32 meg. One's 1M265, or 625, yeah. Anyway, but we were selling multiple versions, so that makes sense. Anyway, so this module right here just kind of came out, and see, it plugs in, has a little connector there. And this thing has a bunch of MOSFETs on it. I don't know what power rail it runs. I mean, none of that stuff's in my brain because I've never worked on this, since I've done board repairs. So usually we would just change the board out on this. Let's plug it in. Let's see if it does anything different. So let's make sure it's all the way in, seated in there very nicely. Very nice. And we will take our new power meter plug. Bzz. Andrew has a 5570 and it works great. Well, that's good. That's awesome. I'm going to plug this in. Power meter. We need to be able to see the meter though. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. It's alive! It's alive! It's pulling 0.01, so 10 milliamps when we plug this in. So we don't know if it's going to power on yet because we don't have the... darn, yeah, that's true. It is darn. You're not happy for me? We're not happy? So I'm going to take the old power button here. Let me pop this open because we're going to use my finger as a heatsink because I'm crazy. You can call me Crazy Nate. And so I'm just going to set this in place to be able to touch the power button there. Just like that. In a happy little place. It's happy. Okay. We're going to plug it in. And our finger's going to go on as a heatsink. And go. We got our power light. It's pulling 600 milliamps. And my finger's getting hot. So I got to rotate fingers. Just go back and forth. Well, it's shut back off. Is it going to come back on? So this is the classic turns on for a couple seconds and turns back off. Now this is a symptom of the CPU or memory having an issue, or the video card might be missing. But that is one of, back in the day, that was the whole thing, is like, does it turn on for a couple seconds and shut back off? There was no error codes. Maybe on this one had some error codes a little bit. There's these 3 lights, so maybe they had the outside blinking or the inside or something like that. But so we will, oh my gosh, guys, look at this. I was going to put the heatsink back on. It doesn't even have thermal paste. This is just a metal, aluminum something or another sitting on top of there. Should we soup this up with some thermal paste, man? We'll make this thing go faster. Put some racing stripes on it. And I want to look to see if we can put a 2 gigahertz in here. I want to see if I can find one. I'll dig around. That'd be pretty cool. But let's put this on. I'm not even going to worry about the heatsink compound because it doesn't have it. And we will add it on there later. No, we'll do it right now. We'll do it right now. Some Arctic Silver. I got some Arctic Silver 5 here. We'll just put a little Dizot right there. And just a happy little dot. And we got that installed. And we'll just snap that down like nothing happened. Boom. And now we can reinstall this 32 meg video card. Crazy Nate in full effect. We had screws in here. I can't remember what screws. Were you guys paying attention? Was it these silver screws that went to the video card? Pretty sure. My brain literally was not paying attention. So we're going to put these silver screws here. And that screw does not go there. Where does it go? This one? Yep. Okay. What else do we need just to get this thing to turn on? The screen, the palm rest. We'll need the palm rest. You know, we should go out to the warehouse and get some of these. I bet we have some of these colors. And I did set it up where I can actually take my phone now and we can walk around with it, and I can cast it back to the streaming OBS, and so you guys can see and we can go explore a little bit if we ever want to do that. Let me pull up and see if we actually have some of these colored inserts for this. I can't remember what category it would be in, and it's been a while. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize I had those other cameras on there. It's in the, what category is it in? Shell casing of some sort? Yeah, I don't remember what it's even called. They're like inserts or something like that. I'd be surprised if I actually have some, but that would be kind of cool to send some back, because they come in like blue and different colors. Yeah, I don't have any. I have some modems. Who wants a modem? Free modems for everyone. I wonder how many I have of these. I have 142. How many people are on the stream right now? 610 people are on the stream. I don't have enough modems for everyone though. Anyway, okay, that was fun. So I can't change these inserts out. I don't have them anymore. Everyone bought me out. So I'm going to plug in the palm rest. And we will set the screen in place. Do you think this thing's going to post? Because a second ago it didn't post. It didn't. It just kind of turned on for a couple seconds and shut back off. But we were missing some things. Should we plug the keyboard in too? Okay. Look, we're already back together. See the power button? It will totally post now. Yep. Totes. Look, the screen will actually fold all the way back. That's pretty cool. It's a feature. Okay. Okay. Let's plug it in. Do we have our memory in there still? I should check that. So I thought we took it out. Okay, we put the memory back in because we do need memory or else it won't turn on. Okay, power meter, gotcha. 0.02, we're a little higher. We're at our 20 mil. Okay, screen all the way back. Look at that, beautiful. Y'all can see it perfectly now. All right, power on. It's alive! It's alive! Invalid configuration. Wow, this thing is awesome. We should totally boot into, okay, look at the specs on this thing. Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit for you guys. Okay, okay. I'm loving this. Okay, so the date is July 9th. The date was July 9th, 2002. When its mobile Pentium 4 was created. 256 megs, has the GeForce 2 Go with the 32 megs that we were talking about. The audio controller is a Crystal 4205. We can't forget about that. And there's the service tag, which doesn't work on Dell's site, by the way. And how many? We have 7 pages of stuff to go through. And how do I go to the next page? Alt-P. Alt-P. Okay. Here's our boot order diskette. We can boot off of a floppy disk, internal hard drive, or CD. Do you notice there's no USB boot? Oh, I forgot to mention, so we have USB ports on the side. I believe those USB ports are only 1.1. I don't even think they're USB 2.0. Because I remember when USB 2.0 came around, I was like, wow, this is fast. Yeah, I think it's 1.1. I don't know if they had 1.0. I think it's 1.1, but I might be mistaken on that. Okay, next page. So there's no USB boot in the boot order. What do we got here? Boot. Minimal post, so you can do a longer one where it like tests the memory and everything. Got LAN controller enabled, docking station. It's not docked right now, obviously, guys. What else we got? We got our serial port. We want to assign that to COM1, don't we? That's a pretty good fallback. But if you want it to be really cool, you could put it on like COM6 or something. You got the EC, so you can put your parallel port in different modes. And so ECP was really good because it's that's what you ran your printers off of a lot, right? And then full duplex audio, so I guess you could do 2-way. And what else we got? Touchpad. Okay, page. Okay, and you remember I told you that this machine was capable of putting 2 batteries in here? This is what I'm talking about. One's a CD, a modular bay where you can put your floppy drive and the optical drive, CD, DV, and all that. But you can also put 2 batteries in here. So you can have a battery here and a battery here. And this is the screen that shows you that. I mean, don't you wish you could put 2 batteries in a machine, right? Don't you wish you could put 2 batteries on your phone? I mean, now you're having to hook this whole extra thing on there, right? Or you carry a battery in your pocket all the time. But that's pretty baller, I think. Next page, page 7. Okay, so here's our power plans. So it's all built in here to have your power plan. Brightness. So if you're on battery, it's one thing. If you're on AC adapter, it's another thing. And then you have wake on LAN still. You have CPU on battery automatic. So, and this is before speed step, I believe, because it's a P4, Pentium 4. So I don't think they even had speed step. So it was always running at full clock. So 1.6 was probably a good compromise anyway. And then there's no password on here, but you could put a power on password, hard drive password, things like that. And we're around there. So let's put this mechanical hard drive in here. We don't even have this thing screwed back together, but we're going to be careful. And I want to put this mechanical hard drive in here. And see how I call it a mechanical hard drive? Because that's how I specify whether it's a solid state hard drive or a mechanical hard drive. But so this is an HDD. It actually has HDD on here, so it'd be a hard disk drive. It's IDE. And it was, did we look this up as manufactured in July? Is that what we said? July of 2002? So this would be for the record books if this thing actually spins up and works. But see, I want to be very careful with it. I'm not like trying to move it too much, or April. It was April 2002. I don't want to move it too much because I don't want to end up damaging it when the platters and the heads and all that stuff. And so especially when it's on, there's no like protection. Like the newer mechanical drives would have the fall protection where it would like move the heads out of the way if it could tell something's moving. But it's kind of like when you're standing next to a record player and you keep bumping it, right? Or if you were driving in your car and you kept hitting the speed bumps too hard and your Discman would jump, right? You know, the separate Discman that you use the tape to as an adapter. I'm old enough to have that, where I had a separate Discman in my car. It was so cool to have a Discman. All right, let's boot to Windows XP. Windows XP. Now, there is a chance that this will boot to the person's name, so I got to figure out what we're going to do about that. We can. Well, I'll see if we can adjust the screen fast enough if that becomes an issue. This was shipped with Windows XP, so this is like it's a 2002 machine, so it would be the first year of that, because that's when XP came out, was in 2002. Do you guys remember when XP came out and it just seemed so fast? It like booted so fast compared to Windows 2000 was awesome. I mean, that thing was a very stable machine, but it wasn't as fast. What came out in October 2001? For some reason, I thought it was 2002. But anyway, so I just remember it being like super fast and my mind being blown on like how fast it would actually boot up. I did not plug in the power. That power is plugged in. Okay, so let's boot to this hard drive. 3, 2, 1. I can hear it spinning up. I'm going to give you guys the full treatment. Can you hear it? Does everyone hear it? Windows 2000. Oh, they have 2000 on here. Yeah, it's like a clicking sound. It's like, I mean, the sticker on the bottom was XP Professional. So that's why we were going with XP being on here, because it's licensed for that. It has a COA on the bottom. Oh, it's such a weird noise. Yeah, it kind of sounds like, it sounds like it's dying. No, it just sounds like it's accessing, because it's like, you know, its head's moving around trying to read different parts of the platter and stuff. Okay, we got to get ready. I don't think, does it? Here, I'm gonna tilt the screen just in case the customer's information comes up. But you guys, we should sample this sound. My brother, he's a musician, so he's been going around and sampling, like the music you hear in the intro and things like that, all the background music, he does all that music. But he's been sampling all these computer sounds, and he's been putting it into a sequencer and making songs out of them. So we're trying to come up with something, and so this would be a perfect sample. Here, I'll put this microphone back on so y'all can hear me better. But anyway, yeah, so I don't see the customer's information here, but so y'all can see the login screen. I had to hit Control-Alt-Delete to actually log in, but we know that it actually booted up. So I'm going to shut it back down. I don't want to put this hard drive through too much work. So we're going to shut it back down. That was pretty cool, I got to say. It does bring back memories working on this machine. We still need to screw it all back together. Now, what did we end up doing to fix it? It was such a simple fix, right? And it was actually something I remembered now. It just like, it came to the front of my head immediately whenever I got in here. And there's been countless times that people called and said, hey, you know, this laptop's not turning on. And Inspiron 8200 said, oh, that module probably came undone, you know. You just need to reseat that, and that usually fixed it. There was another model called the CPX. I don't know if people are familiar with that. So the CPX model had the CPU, instead of it being like a chip like this, like just a regular CPU chip, it was actually a card, and it would sit down in there, and it had a tendency, because of the torquing of the machine, would come undone. The CPX, yes. And so the torquing, it would have it come undone, and so I'd literally tell them, I said, okay, you want this thing to turn on? You just take your hand into a fist, and you do a Fonzie, and you hit the keyboard like that, and then it would lodge the CPU back in, and then the machine would turn on. So that was a fix on the CPXs and CPTs. The CPs also had that same processor, but they didn't have that issue as much. So we need to screw this back together. Oh, I want to see the battery works. So the battery this is the battery, and it has 3 lights on it. It has 3 lights. It means it's 60% charged, so it's actually at storage voltage. Is it NiCad? No, it's a lithium ion. Lithium ion battery. And this is the newer version, these gray ones. I was selling these. And we can actually look at the part number and look at the date code. So right here says, you see the 284. So that means that it was in a year of a 2. So it could be 2002, 2012, or 2022 is the first number there. The second number is the month, and then the third number is the day. So it's either this is a 2002 battery, which I don't think. I think it's more like probably a 2012 battery. But I'm impressed. The lights are on. So let's put it in here and see if it turns on off the battery. Or actually, we can see if it charges. So we're going to wait for charge current to come through. Negotiating. And will it go? 0.5. Look at that, 1 amp going into the battery. 1.7 amps. That's actually charging at 32 watts. 31 watts. That's pretty good. That's pretty fast. I mean, even the new laptops are charging at like 75 watts. So, I mean, for an old laptop like this, that's impressive. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Let's see if it works off of it, though. I'm going to unplug the power. Hit the power button again. We've got our power light. I can hear the hard drive spinning up. And we have our Dell screen. And we have our BIOS. So everything's working on there. We didn't look at the CMOS battery, and we know it needs a new CMOS battery. Now, are we ever going to see a CMOS battery again for this machine? Or maybe we can make one. Ooh, I don't feel like making a CMOS battery for this, but let me pop this open because we still got to put all these screws back in here. The CPX, did it have keyboard issues? Yeah, there was always some keys that would mess up. I sold these keyboards like crazy too. It was always like this one set, like K, G, 6, and L would stop working or something like that. You know, the way these keyboards work, they're in matrix, and so it's actually pulling columns and rows, and they're not all lined up to the actual orientation of there, so you'll end up having kind of random keys out. But what were we looking for? The CMOS battery? Yeah. Did you see the CMOS battery? I didn't even see it. I'm just going to leave all that attached. Oh. Okay. Wow, I don't even see where it is. I don't remember where it is. It's probably in the manual somewhere. Oh, that's right, the manual's probably gone. I just remember the CMOS battery. Hey, Diver, thanks for the donation. I just remember the CMOS battery is like this long green packed with a bunch of different coin cells. Is it under the... Is it under there? I don't know. Let's check. We're already in here. We know it's working. So, and we have nothing else to do at this point, right? Get that back up. That back up. So all that's out. Where would you put the CMOS battery? If I was a CMOS battery in 2002, where would I be? Someone needs to look it up for me. Under the access, memory access? That would be too easy. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is so stupid. These are little, these are spacers for the board to actually hook to. And so this one actually came off. Both of these came off. I think they just pop back in here, but they screw to it. This one actually has threads in here, so we might actually have to solder this one back on. Yeah, the solder came undone, so we actually have a job to do. Did I take out the battery? Were you talking about the battery? The main battery goes here. We're looking for the CMOS battery, so we're going to look inside the memory area. So we have our memory. I thought that it would be over here. You know, it may be under the motherboard right here even. We're trying to find the CMOS battery. And if they made it that hard to get to, then it doesn't want to be changed. And this thing doesn't even need it. It doesn't matter because the whole thing about a CMOS battery is to keep the date and time or keep those settings if you take out your modular battery. But if your modular battery stays in, then it's fine. So we're not going to worry about it. We do need to fix these posts though. So we'll have to solder that back on. Solder it back on. Is it under the hard drive? I guess so. Since we're here, we'll check it. Going slow. I don't want to hurt anything. Nothing there. Here, let me look. Let me pull up a motherboard on our site because we have pictures usually. But I doubt I have, this is back before I was doing multiple pictures. Yeah, I don't even have multiple picture views on these things. That's funny. That's how old it is. And I'm not seeing the battery in this shot either. So, I don't know. I don't know. So, I don't know. Should we even worry about it? I mean, it doesn't need it, right? Found it. I think. Is it over here? Is this it? Or am I looking? I don't know what I'm looking at, actually. Microscope. Oh no, that's, I saw this green here. I thought that that was it, like wrapped in there. That actually goes to the modem and the network card. And then that plugs into the board. It's not under that cage. It's not under this cage. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not important enough. But let's reassemble this thing all the way. It's not a CR2032 anyway. It's not. It's like some weird. I can probably find something. I bet. Here, let me look and see if I can find something that looks like one. I found some heat shrink tubing. That would have been useful. Yeah, I don't have any. I haven't had to work on an old machine like that in forever, so yeah, I don't have any of those CMOS batteries. But I need to put these little brackets back on. So you see how this little mount hooks there, and there's like a solder joint. And so this goes on here, and it came undone. So, I mean, it was my fault, obviously. I unscrewed it, and then it came undone. So it just sits on there, and then we're just going to solder it in place. Solder it. My inventory is out of stock. Yeah, yes, I've been out of stock. I was looking, last time I had this motherboard, I had a bunch of them in 2002, and then they sold out in 2019 or something like that. We lowered the price really cheap, and then people started buying them. Most of the stuff's out of stock because I haven't gotten anything from this model in probably 15 years. So what I do is I buy out Dell's inventory, so I get these big trucks of stuff, and so it's whatever Dell had in their stock, and so I haven't seen this stuff in years. So let's see if we can solder this on here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it hot enough. Let's put a little flux right there. Happy little flux. We just want to tack it in place good enough. Okay. Solder like older. Yes, solder like older. But it's like the L, that L, solder. I can't say it. It's too hard. Solder, solder. I mean, it's just an American way of saying it, right? And I'm from Texas, so I should have a draw anyway, right? I should say solder. Solder. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it with tweezers. I will. What's on the end of my tweezers? Gross. Get out of there. All right, and that tip looks disgusting. Just a happy little flux. Okay, here we go. Stay. I kind of want it lined up to the way it was. See how it rocks a little bit? Let me see if I can spin it to be in the exact orientation that it was before. Yeah, that looks like that's it now. Okay, so now we'll hold it in place, press it down. I don't know if this is going to get hot enough. Oh, that worked. Okay, we tacked that side. I don't want to hit all this plastics. This board looks so pretty. I just definitely don't want to accidentally mar out some of these plastic connectors here. So I'm trying to aim just right. Just right. There we go. It's like welding. That one looks good. And then can we get in this other angle? I'm not going to go all the way around because I don't want to touch the other side. I don't want to touch the plastic at all. Okay. All right. That's strong. Strong like bull. Okay, so now we're going to do this guy. This guy's less important because the screw just comes through it. This one, the screw actually threads into it, and so it actually has to be structural. And I bet that's why this board, yeah, I remember this is what came unplugged. So I bet this actually broke loose, and so it wasn't able to sit in there all the way. Interesting. All right, so we're going to set this one into place, in its happy little place. It's new home. Well, it's home, not new, because it's been here forever. Get in there. Why does it not want to go in there? Does he not fit? Does he go in a different one? Oh, he goes in this one. Is that right? Huh. I'm confused. I'm confused. Ah. It goes on this. That's what it is. And then this one sits on top of this one, and then this one goes on there. We figured it out. Okay. We almost have it. Just going to try to tack the side, and then we'll deal with the other side. Yeah, I'm not even adding any new solder to it because there's plenty on here. Ooh, smell that. Smells like Tang. That old solder smells like Tang. Okay, we're good. We can turn the sound off now. Where's the solder? It is that metal is the solder. So there was already solder in that area, in that metal, that looks like metal at least. So we're good now. So now we can reassemble. Put all the screws in, and we can get this back. And I think you guys, we got enough donations to pay for this, so I think we're good. Unless you want to pay for an upgraded CPU. I might have to order that though, if we're going to do that. I don't know if we have enough proper calibrated wires in here. We have this one. It smells like cancer. It does smell like cancer. And so I'm making sure all this is, really seated in there really good, so we don't have to worry about it. Because I've had this happen where on these types of machines, I'd shipped them back, and then whenever they got it, it didn't work anymore because something came unlodged. So. Okay. Here's the keyboard. Palm rest goes back on. Just a happy little palm rest. I don't know why I'm using so many Bob Ross references, but I think everything's pretty happy at this point, right? This is a beautiful machine that's been off for an unknown amount of time. And to me, it looks like it has been sitting around in a... This is like one of those garage finds or whatever, right? Where it's like the old Mustang that has like 80 miles on it or something, right? Oh, you missed the fix? Oh no. Well, if you're just joining us, this is a 2002 Inspiron 8200 that was sent in for repair, and the customer said that it worked flawlessly for years, and then suddenly, someone unplugged it and it shut off and it never came back on, and it was unplugged or off for an unknown amount of years, and then we figured out it was just a daughter board or a VRM power board, distribution board that was unplugged. And that was it. We plugged it in, the machine turned on, and Bob's your uncle. But we got to at least go through and explore the nostalgia of this old machine. Okay, I'm going to screw in the palm rest first before I put the keyboard back in. So we have our 12 millimeter screws. Look at how long these things are. This is crazy. It's a lot of metal. Yeah, I bet I could throw this thing across the room and it'd be just fine. Well, we'll take out the mechanical drive and then we'll throw it across the room. Yeah, Smash, I actually have a museum. I have a museum in the front store that has a bunch of these old laptops in it. So one of the laptops is this one that's up there. So I think it's pretty funny. Check the palm rest. What do I need to check? What'd I do? What'd I do? Did I miss something? It's plugged in. Should we turn it on before we start putting all the screws in just to make sure it works? Oh, check the palm rest for the CMOS battery? Ah. That's hilarious. That would be so funny if it is on there. I think you're right. I think I remember this now. Ah. Let's see. Do we have to unscrew this again, though? Here, maybe I'm going to look at my pictures on our website, so I don't have to unscrew it. Let's see, palm rest. Palm rest. Of course, I only have one side, I bet. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Oh, I love the days whenever I only took pictures of one side of the product. Okay. Should I pull this back off to look at the CMOS battery? I think I'm over the CMOS battery at this point. I don't think we need that. I'm tired of taking these screws in and out, but I think you are right. I think that's where it is. And so if you ever want to perform a CMOS reset on this, just unplug the palm rest. That's awesome. This thing doesn't even need a CMOS battery. I'm not going to even be able to put a CMOS battery on it. I don't even have it. You want me to pull it off, really? Should we put a vote up? Okay, if you want me to pull this palm rest back off, say aye. No, I know there's no point. I'm not going to be able to replace it. It can leak. You're true. I mean, it's an iCAD. No, we got a no. We got an aye. I got, whoa! We got a huge donation for all the help. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't have any spares. Yeah, so We got an eye. We got plenty of eyes, so I'm going. We're going in. I didn't put that many screws in. Yeah, I could leak. We should just pull it out and remove it. Be responsible. Be responsible. That's what you're saying, right? We're doing this guy a favor. Wow, and my screwdriver is losing its magnetic. I need to go remagnetize it. It's driving me crazy. It probably has something to do with these 12mm screws. No more easy pizza. Okay. All right. The screen's coming off again. Okay, there's our screen. Did I already put the screw in? I did. It's just a happy little screw. Now I'm messing with him. I'm taking him back out. He was so happy a second ago. Yeah, it's a 6-cell CMOS. Okay, you ready? Donde? Where are you? Where are you? I don't see him. Now remember this, those little things right there, remember we talked about that? You can pop these out because you can change the color if it wants to pop out. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. It doesn't even have a plug here. I swear, I know exactly where it is. It's just in my brain somewhere where I don't want to remember it. I think I've like deleted that information on where the CMOS battery is. Someone found it, right? Didn't you say you found it on the CMOS? I mean, on the palm rest? You found the CMOS battery on the palm rest? Underneath. No, you're supposed to say underwear, right? Or I'm supposed to say underwear, right? Isn't that the joke? So underneath, we don't have anything here. We have no empty plugs. This is where the modem goes. And then there's no empty plug here. I mean, is it under that? Is it like under the motherboard? Under the plate. This plate? If I have to pull this apart, I'm not doing it. I refuse. Ah, there it is. Boom. You're right. We found it. I was looking for something green. It's white. Does everyone see it? It's that white thing between the plates. All right, let's be responsible. We need to disable this battery. You told me, Mike, you're right. Yep. Never doubt Mike. All right, 2 screws. And this just lifts out. And there she blows. And she's in beautiful condition, just like the entire computer. It's 3 volt, but how many cells is this? Does that mean it's all in parallel? I mean, I guess each one of them didn't have that much capacity. Oh, 7.2 volts. Yeah, that's about right. Should we test to see what voltage we have on it? That'd be funny if, I mean, the main battery was at 60% charge. This laptop's in beautiful condition, like it's brand new, like it was just like a barn find. So this thing could have voltage just fine, right? You guys need a meter. All right, voltage mode. .4 volts. I bet that thing will charge back up and be happy. Right? That's good. 2.4, that's good. Oh, wait, it's supposed to be 6 volts though, right? 7 volts? 7 volts? I was thinking 3.2 because I was just thinking of regular CMOS. So these are probably 1.2 volt cells. Is that what we're thinking? Because if it's like a lead acid, or no, NiCad, right? They're 1.2s. I'm thinking of like RC cars. That's how they used to do it, right? We had all the cells together. So our consensus is to not put this back in, right? Because it's going to leak. Right, David? We should keep this out. We'll just put it back together without it because we don't need it. The main battery will do its job. It hasn't leaked after 23 years? What do you think, 23 more years to go? All right, so we were successful together. You guys saved another laptop. Saved another laptop! New day, new laptop to repair. All right, so let's get this together. I'm going to do the rest of this in my announcer voice that I do in my shorts. Okay, now it's time to pull this board out, put it back together. Okay. Now I'm getting tired of these 12mm screws. Should we go to this guy, see if this thing does? That does make it a little easier, I guess. I got some applause. ML 2032s or CL 2032s. These don't have anything to do with those because these are going to be lead acid. They're not even like, not lead acid, what is it, NiCad? They're not lithium ion. If you're just joining us, the laptop just sat there for a long time. We figured out it was just a power board that came unplugged. We're not seeing them anywhere. Quick, contact a Chinese company. You can corner the market right now. Get 1,000 of them made. Yeah, supercapacitor will work. That is a good idea. Because I'm sure it's not using very much current, right? Come on. This thing doesn't want to thread into its home. Oh, yeah, I can replace it with 2032s. Yes, I can. You guys are killing me here. You guys want me to go the extra mile. That would be fun, but I'm not going to do it. This thing doesn't need a CMOS battery. We could totally build one. I do have a lot of CMOS batteries we can kind of solder together and make something solder together. Why does this not want to go in here? Kidding me, Smalls. Trying to snap these things together. There we go. All right. And I do remember that this screw hole would be always hard to get it to line up. And that's just came to the front of my memory again, too. I'm starting to have a lot of flashbacks. It's like I was in war working on these laptops. Here, I'm going to put the screen on. I think that lines up the palm rest better. Yeah, apparently there's some controversy in my the voiceover in my shorts because they're saying it's not my voice, but it is my voice. I read it like this. New day, new laptop to repair. And what do we have today? And here's the thing. And that's how I talk. And it just makes it more fast-paced and fun. And people, it's always performed a lot better than me just talking like this in a short. Those don't do very well. So I kind of gave up just doing the monotone talking. And so my shorts are a lot more fast-paced. And I talk into this fake announcer voice. Or people think I sound like AI, which, I don't know, that's kind of strange. I don't know how I would sound like AI. Okay, so, I need to screw that screen on now. So this is the boring part, because I've already taken this apart and put it back together over and over again. And you remember I talked about how I like to cut out screws? Screwing screws, because I hate that. It's like the most boring part of a repair. So I always cut that out of all my repairs. This is annoying, watching these screws. So that's what I'm trying to read too. That'd be so much fun if we could actually hook up the dial-up modem and actually use it. Okay, so we put thermal paste on the CPU. So we souped that up. Let me blow out the heatsink, but there's no dust in this heatsink. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. All we had was that ladybug attacked by that mystery creature. And that was it. Got that back in there. That's back in there. Are we going to have any extra screws? No. There's no way we'd have an extra screw. If we did have an extra screw, we can just add it to my screw bin here. You know that's a joke, right? Okay, we need the modem. Here are the doors, and here's our 56K modem, and it has a Canadian leaf on it. If it would focus. Come on. Is that right? Yeah. So it's a Canadian branded 56K modem. Great job. Means it's extra fast. So we're going to plug it in. So we can, this actually, the card's here and then it runs a wire to the side that connects the phone line. We got one screw that goes right here. That goes there. That one goes here. What's the next question here? You want to send me your desktop? No, I don't work on desktops. I only work on laptops. You're going to catch me if I have extra screws at the end. Yeah. I have one screw right here. I don't know where it goes yet, but we'll figure it out. This is a captive screw here. And that one's already there. Oh, you know what? I know where that screw goes. It goes right here. Right here. There's a screw that holds this ribbon cable. Oh yeah, you can log in the Napster. I bet the password's already saved on this computer. We'll put our floppy drive back in. It goes on this side though. Put our battery back in. Put our center control cover back on. That's what this is called. Snap that on, and boom, we are back. We are back to 2002. We need our hard drive. Be very careful with this thing. You don't want to break it. All right, let me plug this back in. And we have our power meter ready to go. Should start pulling current too for charging the battery. Okay, there we go. That'd be funny if we put it back together and it didn't work. That would suck. Okay, we have a charge life of the battery. We have current going into the battery of 32 watts. I'm gonna press the power button. It should stop charging momentarily while it boots up the laptop, and then it will initiate the charge cycle. And we are getting a date and time configuration issue because we did not, or because we unplugged the CMOS battery. But that CMOS error which should go away because we have a main battery in there. And we are booting to Windows 2000. Let me brighten up the screen. There we go, super bright. And I think we can actually make the screen bigger. Let's see. Boom, look at that. L400, I have one of those. Oh, L400 takes the same one? I have I have an L400 up in my museum up front also. I can take y'all up there. We can try it out because I have it set up where we can actually cast to my phone, and then I can take you around the building here. Yeah, there's a floppy drive up in the front right here. Oh, there's a floppy drive in the front. I don't want to move this while it's on, but it's up here in the front. And you can hear that beautiful hard drive booting up. And we're back to the login screen. I'm going to do this so I can shut it back down and y'all can't see the login information. There we go. I saved another laptop. Do you guys like that? I mean, it was funny because I said it in one video in my brain. I don't know why I said it, and it's just, I thought it was pretty, and then it kind of stuck. Okay, there you go. Shutting back down. We got lots of love on that one. You want to do a tour real quick? We can do a tour. Or we can save it for another stream. We'll do a tour in another stream. What do you think? Yeah, we could try it out. I'm actually interested to see how the cell phone streaming, because basically I just have an app on the OBS that it's going to cast to, and then I'm just turning on my camera on my phone, so you're just seeing what's on my screen and just seeing how that works. So we could try that out. No tour, huh? We got a vote for. I'm going to put a voter up there. Let me put a poll. How do we do a poll? Start a poll. There we go. It's gonna be quick. It'll be like 5 minutes. I mean, we're not. I'll have to turn on my warehouse lights and stuff. If we want to go out in the warehouse, I don't know how far we'll be able to go with the reception. So, and then my the audio, my voice is going to be out of sync because it's not going to be on the same time scale. So, so my building here is 14,000 square feet. The repair shop, or this front area, is I have a store, and then I have a repair area where I kind of work, and then I have the main store area where there's more technicians. Have a couple more spots there, and then back in the warehouse is about 10 or 12,000 square feet inside the warehouse, and that one I have about 700,000 Dell parts in there. So half of it's like all the in-stock stuff. I have all the employees in the middle where they're testing all the parts, and then I have all the stuff coming in. And then in the back of the warehouse is where it all gets shipped to. So, and I set up I write all the software that runs the company, and so I have like mapping system that tell me where every single part is, where it is, on what shelf, and what location, what day it came in, all that type of stuff. And so whenever we're pulling parts or someone orders on our website, it tells, there's like a pick sheet that says what shelf to go to. And, so like row O, shelf, 6, and then everything is in alphabetical order by part number. So, but yeah, so we'll walk around real quick. Let me get this set up. We'll try this out. And this is just a test. We'll see how this streaming thing works here. Give me a second to get this casting going. It looks like 91% of the people actually want to do this, so we are going to try it. And I made a special button for this. All right, how are we doing? Can we see it? Is it working? All right, so we are on my cell phone here. And so I'm going to back up a little bit so you can actually see. Here's what I'm using as my kind of Elgato thing, but it's a program called Macro Desk or Macro Deck, and you run it. This is an old tablet that's like running Android 5. I mean, it's way old, 10 years old or so. And then I just have that set up, and it will toggle all my different screens and stuff like that. And so it's going to be out of sync, yes. So I will be completely laggy or out of sync by maybe a second or so. So don't worry about that. It's the best you can do. So we're going to back out here. So this is my solder station in my area where I'm working. Microscope, and there's the overhead camera. I got more donor boards here. I got tons of donor boards here. A couple more workstations. And so this is just the repair area. If we go out into my store, this is a couple more repair stations for my techs. And then I have laptops for sale. And here's kind of the whole store setup. I'm not going to be able to see your chat, and hopefully you can hear me. Actually, I need to move my microphone receiver up higher so it doesn't cut out. But let me come back in here real quick. And make sure everyone can hear me still. Okay, I just moved my receiver up. And I'm going to check the comments. No lag, everything looks good, guys? We're good? All right, cool. So it may start cutting out when I walk into the warehouse, so we're going to do the best we can. So I'm coming back into my store. So anybody can come in here. I'm open 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. This is the main front area, and you just walk in and you can order stuff at the counter, or you can get your stuff repaired here. And out in the warehouse, the lights are off, so I'm going to go turn that on. Give me a second. And hopefully it's not cutting out, because I am getting far away from my microphone receiver. All right, lots of stuff in here, guys. Lots of stuff. So the warehouse is actually broken into a couple different parts. These are all the stuff that's coming in. So all the trucks come in on this side. Then I have all my employees are actually lined up right down the middle here, and they do all the testing of all the parts. And then they bag and tag and mark it, scan the serial numbers and all that, and that gets passed through a pass-through window. And on this side of my warehouse is all the stuff that's in stock. So like this row, for instance, is all laptop motherboards, all the way down. Every single model of Dell laptop motherboard or Alienware is all in this row here. These are LCD screens, this whole row. We got palm rests, back covers, bezels. I mean, it's all organized by what it is. And hopefully this isn't cutting out because I'm getting far away here. We got every battery there is, every latch, every DC jack, everything is all the way through all of this. And then back here, I'm getting kind of far away from my microphone. So back there is where we ship everything out. So I'm gonna head back and check the chat and make sure that we are good on audio. And then, we could chat about, or I can answer any questions. All right. All right, so how was that? Did that work out? I can't tell if it cut out or not, or the microphone cut out, or it never cut out. Awesome. So that's good. So we can actually use that to do other things. And oh yeah, I want to show you my museum over here too. We can go look at that, because that was the other thing that I was going to show you, the laptops I have in my museum while we're at it. It's a small museum. It's we call it the museum. It's just like some display cases with some old laptops in it, right? So here, just like, these aren't even that old. This is probably like a 2009 or so. That's a D series. You've seen that. That's a C series. That's kind of similar to what we're working on. And look, the CMOS batteries right on the top. These are the older ones over here in this display case. So we have some. These are like L400s. Those are Pentium 3. Those are going to be like one of the first Ultrabooks. A Latitude LM, that's things, I don't know what year that is, probably a 98, 97, 98. That's a 1994 model right there. What is a 320N? Here's an XPI, and then they had an XPI CD where you had a CD attachment. That was pretty cool when they made those. This is I think an LS. This is the machine we're working on, but it's the Latitude version of it. And then there's a D series D800 or something like that. So anyway, anytime we get some, here's an older laptop on top there too. Anytime we get these older machines, we just kind of stack them in there. So. All right. Well, there you go. When was Dell incorporated? I think in, what, 85 or something like that? I have 18 employees currently. We were up to like 23 or 4. And then most of my guys have worked here for a long time, like 20 years. I have a lot of 15-year veterans, and then I have some 20-year veterans that have been here. Very dedicated employees. Yeah, anybody can come by and come in anytime you want. Yeah, I feel like this stream was pretty productive. I mean, we had fun. We worked on some older machines. We got to look at some older machines. Got to walk around the warehouse a little bit. That's definitely, I think, is productive. Have I heard of Borg OS? Is that like a Linux distro or what? Sounds pretty cool. I've never been to Cameron's warehouse, but I know they have huge warehouses. Camera Electronics. I've dealt with them for many, many years, Rusty and stuff like that. How many repairs do I do per month on average? So repairs about 2% of my entire business, maybe 3%. And we do about 130, 140 repairs a month. So most of my business is going to be selling parts. That's kind of what we specialize in knowing all that stuff. I appreciate it. Awesome stream. Retro repair from this channel, sign me up. Yeah, so it'd be cool if we did some more retro repair. I almost was going to do a regular repair on this and then just kind of like keep a straight face all the way through it. But I couldn't do it. So I'm glad you're watching in Germany in the middle of the night and you think it's totally worth it. I hope I'm actually giving some value to you guys. Yeah, Borg OS, I want to know a little bit more about what you're talking about. Is it a Linux distro or something? That's what it sounds like. What's my everyday computer? I have a custom built that I use here at the office with 3 monitors, like a 32-inch monitor and a couple 22s on its verticals on the side, because I do a lot of coding. And that is a custom built, like a 13700K with just a 3060 in it. And then I have a XPS 9500, an XPS or a Precision 5520 for my laptops. Where to get my training? I've never been taught. So the training is just doing. I didn't even graduate from high school. I went to 7th grade and I did a good enough degree, so GED. I went to ITT Tech for a little while. I got an associate's degree an electric engineering, but that's not really, I mean, they show you circuit design and stuff like that, but it never taught me how to do any of this stuff. And so everything I've done is just self-taught. Have I ever met Louis Rossmann? No, I haven't, but he's like right down the block. I went in there actually to talk to him one day. He wasn't in, so at some point we're going to get together and try to do something. Yeah, coding. I do a lot of coding, or I haven't been able to do as much lately, but all the stuff on our website, the front end, the back end, all the POS, the time clock, the inventory management system, the accounting, all that stuff was written by me. I even have fraud detection software that I've written into the website that kind of track and kind of grade each order to judge whether it's going to be fraud or not. And also, whenever we handle like all the products coming in, I can hire an employee who just scans the product and it will kind of tell you what to do with the product. It automatically knows what to do. So, what's the value of a 240-watt supply that you use in dollars? Like, how much does it cost? I don't know. I can't remember. 240-watt might be $79 or so. Depends if it's new or not. This is the first time joining the live stream due to the difference in time in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, so my time here, 6 o'clock. Right now it's 8:17 p.m. The best time for me to stream is actually after the store closes, which it closes at 6 p.m. Central Time. And so Wednesday, 6 o'clock is kind of going to be my time, I think. But I'm going to try to do more of these because I think you guys enjoy it. I appreciate, much respect for your business. You're proud of me. Well, I appreciate that. Do I only do Dell repair? Yes, Dell and Alienware. I specialize in Dell and Alienware laptops. That's it, not even desktops. We do have some desktop parts, but that's because when we buy truckloads of stuff, there's some stuff kind of sprinkled in there. Let's see, what else? Brazil, 240-watt supply costs half the minimum wage. Interesting. Before the stream ends, I want to say thank you. You taught me a lot. Purchase recorded session. Wow, that's nice. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kansas. I've tried to, you know, whenever I'm doing these videos, right? What I always hated whenever I'm trying to do research or I'm trying to learn something, I hate it when people talk over their head or over your head, right? They just try to say big words just to say big words to make them seem smart. And so sometimes I can sound not that intelligent, maybe. I don't know, because I'm not using the big words, but I like to speak clearly that anybody can actually pick it up. And that's why I like Soren, because Soren does that same thing. He's just like, this power supply or this wire or whatever. He's not trying to say PB3, P bus, whatever, you know, naming all the power rails and stuff by their name. It gets a little complicated, so I'm trying to make it easy for everyone to kind of learn. Yes, I enjoy people tuning in. So weekly is going to be the way to do it, and you know, we're running about 2 hours. It's 17 minutes into this stream right now, so I'm going to be having to get off here in a minute because I got to head home. I've been here for 12 hours again today, or actually a little longer than that. Let's see. Yeah, I got here at 7:30. Yeah, so it's been almost 13 hours. Yeah, I'm trying to make this as professional as possible too. So like this camera right here, does it look pretty good? My face camera, this one, it's a cell phone. I mean, it's like, I haven't found a necessity to replace it. It's just an old S10, you know, it looks great. And I'm just have a USB wire casting it in. And then I used to have a cell phone overhead, but I did find that I needed a little bit better resolution for the overhead one, but the face one I think looks good. And so you don't have to spend a lot of money to get started with any of this stuff. You just kind of, you know, you just do it. You hit record and start doing it. So if you have something to offer, you know, you just kind of start recording. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's right. So, yeah, and you don't get to my face. Yeah, no one wants to look at this face all the time, too. It's like, why are we even showing the face again? What Windows 2000 is the best operating system for years. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you use old cell phones, yeah, which I think they're great. I mean, this one's an S22 that we just walked around the warehouse with. Although there's going to be pixelation because it is being cast across. Did we ever figure out what Borg OS was? I'm sorry, send me a note about the Borg OS. Because they keep talking about it in here. I have a wonderful face. Appreciate it. I'm getting old though. I'm starting to get the sun, the wrinkles. I'm 45 this year, so. Well, I'm going to wrap this up because I got to get home, but I appreciate everyone coming out, and I hope that we enjoyed, walking around, and I'll try to come up with some other things for us to do like that where we can actually, maybe come up with something. I was kind of thinking like maybe we can do a build or something. That'd be kind of cool, right? Try to build a machine. I don't know, because I have so many parts out there, right? So we can, I mean, it is kind of convoluted when we do that because there's like so many little parts that you're looking for that you don't think about whenever you're building something. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody. Thanks for the donations. That did help pay for this, or did take care of it. I'm going to let the customer know that this repair is free of charge because of support from everybody out there. And I'm going to be posting a new video tomorrow, so you'll look for that. And I appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.